Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Hey, Zaron.
Do I know you?
No.
Oh, cool. What's your name?
Zaron.
Hey, what's up? I'm Elizabeth Dutton. Nice to meet you.
You know what's ridiculous?
I do, Zaron.
Oh, you do?
Yes, pet rocks.
That is ridiculous.
Right? Okay,
what if you just stopped right there?
Just stop, period. Pet rocks. I'd heard about them, so I decided, what is a pet rock? I went and looked it up, and there's a lot more to this than I realized.
Oh, really?
So it was this dude named Gary Dahl. He was an advertising executive. He was talking with his friends at a bar, and they were talking about, complaining about, I got to walk my dog and get up so early in the morning. And he was like, oh, you know what would be the perfect pet? A rock. And they were like, yeah, whatever, Gary.
Whatever, loser.
And so he's like, oh, yeah. And he went out and he decided, I'm going to make pet rocks into a thing. So he did. And so he decides he gets custom cardboard boxes made. He gets this little feeding and care instructions thing that's filled with puns, how to teach your pet rock to do tricks like sit and stay.
Right.
And then there's difficult ones like come. No one's been able to figure out that one yet. But
yeah.
Maybe you can. That kind of jokes, right? Well, anyway, it lasted 6 months, the whole fad, right? But in that time, he sells millions of these. He sells about 1 million of them for about $4 each in 1970s dollars, which is wild to me. He becomes a millionaire. He then buys a bar in Los Gatos. He's a local.
Oh, no
I didn't know this. Dude's a
way.
California local. Yeah, anyway, he regrets doing it. In 1988, he said, sometimes I look back and wonder if my life would have been simpler if I hadn't done it. So,
things got complicated after that?
Yeah, I mean, people would just sue him
Mo
about
money,
my pet rock dropped on my foot, or I don't know. He's getting a lot of lawsuits from cranks and wackos. Anyway, Gary Dahl, pet rocks. There you go.
That is ridiculous. You know what else is ridiculous?
No, tell me.
A badass woman who stands up to the mob and Black Hitler.
What?
This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous.
You heard that.
We're 99% murder-free, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're going to use up the 1% today?
Well, that basically means that the crimes that we cover aren't specifically murder, and the criminals we cover aren't murderers.
Yes.
We've both said that we can't make light of the last day of someone's life and the horrific events that surround it.
No good jokes.
And, that day is also the worst day of the lives of that person's loved ones, right? So we keep it light, and I'm going to do that today.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The woman I'm going to tell you about is murder adjacent, we'll say.
You already said Black Hitler, so I'm figuring this one's going to get wild. Little sideways.
Well, her crimes are incredible and ridiculous in all senses of the word, but murder seems to swirl around her.
Okay.
So she didn't really kill anyone.
She's a murder black hole. It's just happening around her.
Well, she fought a guy in self-defense and he fell and hit his head.
Okay.
But her life is so much more than that.
Another guy fell on knife 7 times.
Exactly. And she's so fascinating that I figured I'd use up our 1% on this.
Okay,
one.
I'm into it. All right.
So I'm talking today about Stephanie St. Clair.
Oh, yes.
A.K.A. Queenie St. Clair.
Yes.
A.K.A. Madam Queen. Madam St. Clair. And Queen of the Policy Rackets.
Put some respect on her name.
Yes. Stephanie St. Clair. Born on Christmas Eve, 1897 in Moule-Grande-Terre, West French Indies.
You say so.
Yes. She was born of African descent to a single mother named Felicienne.
Ooh, beautiful name.
I know. Felicienne, she made sure that Stephanie went to school. But then Felicienne got sick. So at 15 years old, Stephanie dropped out in order to take care of her mom. After her mom passed away, Stephanie moved from the West Indies to Montreal.
Ah, yes.
And she was most likely part of the 1910 to 1911 Caribbean domestic scheme that moved domestic workers up to Canada. So,
one of the great North migrations for Canada.
Yeah, exactly. And specifically to Quebec. So from there, she immigrates to the United States. She gets to New York in 1912. She speaks English, Spanish, French, and that means she can skillfully navigate a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of situations.
Oh, yeah. And she's sliding through situations, I bet.
Totally. Well, so she has this brief relationship after she gets there with a small-time crook named Duke.
Okay.
And he got caught up in nasty business and he met a terrible end, but she had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
It was not by her hand. So then she meets this new guy, Ed. she decides to sell drugs with Ed,
Okay.
with some help from Ed. She makes $30,000.
Do we know what drugs she was selling?
No, but I'm thinking, what is it, 1915?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm figuring like it's cocaine adjacent
It's got-
type stuff,
yeah,
maybe heroin,
or maybe
opiums
weed.
type stuff, or even some of the good gauge weed,
yeah, so she
some
makes
of them jazz cabbage.
she makes the $30,000 after just a few months.
Okay.
And then she decides, I don't need Ed, right? And Ed finds out, and then they have a disagreement, and it didn't end well because he fell.
Oh,
Right, okay.
Another guy fell. Bad
Well,
luck,
that's
huh?
the guy that fell. So
Oh, okay.
after this, she's like, I'm going to hire my own crew of guys. I'm hiring
When
them.
he fell, did he fall off a building or like off
He
a
just
step?
fell backwards.
Okay, I was just wondering.
clunked
You said
his
fell
head.
backwards. A lot. You can fall off a lot of things
He
backwards.
was clumsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like bribing the cops to leave her alone.
Oh, that's smart.
And then this new kind of gang that she had, she's got serious income. So she takes $10,000 of that and she invests it into a lottery game in Harlem.
Okay.
And
The numbers games we were talking
well,
about.
yeah, it's called policy banking.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of gambling, investing, and then playing the lottery.
Okay.
Policy banking wasn't really legal.
No.
The thing is, at the times, banks weren't accepting black clients.
Yeah.
So black Americans couldn't legally invest their own money
In white banks, you'd have to go
in
to
white
black
banks.
Yeah.
Right. And so for many, policy banking was the only option if they wanted to grow their money, if you didn't have black banks
Yeah.
in your area.
Or if you'd run afoul of the black
Well,
banks.
there's that too, yeah. So it was common practice for cosmopolitan black communities in major cities all over the country to be involved in this numbers game as a means of investing.
Yeah.
So there's this man, Stephen Robertson. He wrote a book called Playing the Numbers, Gambling in Harlem Between the Wars. And he said of policy banking, quote, it was akin to putting money in the stock market. Many saw it as an investment, and it was often just as risky as putting money in the stock market back then. So true. This is how it would work. Players would place bets. So a nickel was considered a big bet at the time.
All right.
On a number between 1 and 999.
Okay.
The organizers figured out what the winning numbers were based on two figures: the total daily clearances among all the member banks and the Federal Reserve Bank credit balance. So they would combine the second and third digits from the bank clearings with a third digit from the Federal Reserve Bank balance. So per Playing the Numbers, that book, the game worked out as such. The last Monday before Christmas 1930, the clearings were $589 million, and the balance was $116 million. Hence, the winning number was 896. So it's 589. So you take the 89 and then 6. Anyone who bet on 896 got a payout.
Yeah.
So this is going along great. Then in the late 30s, financial institutions stopped announcing their daily figures. So the policy bankers, they had to figure out, where are we going to get our numbers? They turned to the mutual totals of what was paid out on horse races. So St. Clair, she's mathematically gifted.
This is the numbers that my family played. I heard about these
Exactly.
stories. Yeah.
So she's like this math whiz. Her lottery is just raking in cash. She was such a boss that people started calling her Queenie in Manhattan and Madame St. Clair in Harlem. So the Harlem numbers game, though, that's a man's world at this time.
Oh, yeah.
She was like pretty much the only woman out there and involved. But she's generating all these jobs because her game is huge. She's making all this money. So she's hiring numbers runners.
And henchmen.
But she had like 50 runners at a time hired.
Bet.
Do you know who worked as a numbers runner for Queenie when she was a teenager?
I don't know. Gordon Parks.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, dope.
Isn't that incredible?
That's cool.
So Queenie lives this absolutely lavish lifestyle. In the 20s, she was making about $20,000 a year, and that's kind of like $350,000 today. That's not bad
Not
at
bad
all.
at all.
1930s, there's this journalist who figured out that Queenie was worth probably around $500,000. So that's like $11 million today. She owned property, and she was just like building wealth the only way that she could. She lived in an apartment on 409 Edgecombe Avenue. And that's in Sugar Hill.
Yep.
Looking over what is now Jackie Robinson Park.
Yes.
Couple blocks from the Harlem River. There were a lot of esteemed members of the Harlem community living in this same building.
Like Cab Calloway and...
The painter Aaron Douglas.
Oh, word.
Future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood
Thurgood Marshall, nice. Is that Duke Ellington in this mix?
W.E.B. Du Bois.
Oh, W.E.B. Du Bois,
yeah.
nice.
So, Catherine Butler Jones was a neighbor of hers, and she remembers seeing Queenie in the halls. This is what she said. Madame Stephanie St. Clair breezing through the lobby with her fur coat dramatically flowing behind her. She had a mystical aura about her, and she wore exotic dresses with a colorful turban wrapped around her head.
Yes.
So she's just like floating through the
just this
through
West
the lobby.
Indian goddess.
Yeah. So she donated to organizations that were focused on racial progress, and voting rights was a big thing for her. She regularly paid for ads.
So she's involved in suffragist movements, essentially.
Well, at this point in the 30s.
Oh, we're in the 30s,
yeah.
right? I'm sorry. I backed it up too much.
No, that's right. But I mean, before, I'm sure. And so she paid for ads in local papers because she wanted to educate the community on their legal rights. Here's something that she put in the Amsterdam News. Quote, "To the members of my race," and that's in all caps, "if officers meet you on the street and suspect you of anything, do not let them search you on the street or do not let them take you in any hallway to be searched. If the police should ring your doorbell and you open your door, refuse to let them search your house unless they show you a search warrant." So these are our basic civil rights as Americans, something that all of us should know and live.
A lot of people have to be told because
didn't know.
They presume that if a cop is asking you questions, that the best thing to do is to try to exculpate yourself and tell them why you're innocent.
Right.
And the best thing to do is not say anything. Because
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
just
And that
how our
applies to
system
everybody.
works.
And so she's wanting them to have the same information as everybody else.
Yeah, don't act like a perp.
Right. So she spoke out against police brutality against the Black community, and she filed complaints about police harassment with local authorities.
Nice.
I think it's important to stop and acknowledge how dangerous that was for her.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right? So
With the New York police?
She is brave.
Yeah.
Like, to go ahead and do that.
They were mad racist at this time.
Well, of course, nothing came of her complaints, right?
No, probably not.
So what did she do? She ran more ads in Harlem papers accusing senior officers of corruption.
Ooh.
She just keeps upping the ante on this. Here's something.
You know she got henchmen then.
This is from the 1929 edition of the Amsterdam News. Quote, "I don't understand how these police, who are supposed to be the protection of the people, can make raids for so-called policy slips when these same men are participants of the game themselves."
Oh.
So she's calling out, look, you're my customers, and then you turn around, you're going to raid me? I don't think so, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I love how she's just constantly taking out ads in the paper. It's her,
Exactly.
that's her bulletin board.
Her bully pulpit.
So this time, though, when she calls out her own customers, she gets a response. She got arrested. Mm-hmm. They came after her. And she wound up doing 8 months in a workhouse because of that. Would Queenie take this lying down?
I'm betting no.
No, of course not. So she stayed cool. And then she went and testified to the Seabury Commission, which was a joint legislative committee formed by the New York legislature. And that was because the governor, FDR, he had this probe into corruption in New York City. So she tells them all about the kickbacks that she paid to police officers. She tells them all about the cops who played the Harlem numbers games. This time she gets results. More than 12 officers were fired.
Yeah, this was a big deal. This is part of how he made his name.
Exactly. So it wasn't just crooked cops and politicians that she aired out in her newspaper ads. If men came courting and she wasn't interested, she'd run ads.
just put them on blast?
Oh, yeah. This is what she, quote, "To whom it may concern, I have received letters and telephone messages from men which have annoyed me very much, and I take this occasion to ask them publicly to please not annoy me. I, Mademoiselle St. Clair, am not looking for a husband or a sweetheart. If you do not stop annoying me, I shall publish their names and letters in the newspaper."
And you know who you are.
Right? I love how everything she does is from this really confident and serene place. She's unflappable.
Oh, she's a queen.
Unafraid.
She's definitely a queen.
Yeah. She has definitely earned the name. So Prohibition comes and goes. The Harlem numbers game just keeps cooking along.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't mean anything. But another challenge is at hand.
Dude, the Harlem's number game runs until like the 70s.
Oh, yeah. No,
nonstop.
it just keeps going. But here's this thing.
Until they
Prohibition
legalized
ends.
the lottery, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Prohibition ends. It had been big business for a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And
like dancers and musicians, people you're not thinking of. Not just people who are bootleggers, but everybody in the the clubs.
But when you look at the bootleggers, they have to find a new source of revenue. When we come back, I'll tell you who moved where and how and why.
Nice.
All right, we're back.
Hey, look at us.
Hey, Elizabeth.
What you doing, Zaron?
When we left off, let me give you a little recap. Please. Queenie St. Clair, she was ruling the policy bank numbers game, had worked hard for people in her community. She also now had a principal lieutenant, Ellsworth Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy!
No way,
He was a cultured gentleman, but he was also a badass.
Yeah, oh yes, he is.
They called him Bumpy because he had a large bump on his forehead.
Is that really why they called him Bumpy?
Yeah. So he and Queenie, they're basically running Harlem at this point.
Oh, yes.
They're raking in the dough. They're living these really comfortable lifestyles. Prohibition's coming, going, has no effect.
Now, are they partners romantically?
No, they're just
business, like peers, like we both get it.
Exactly.
I like this. She got someone on her level.
Totally. So prohibition comes to an end. Other criminal elements are losing money. No more illicit hooch to sell.
Mm-hmm.
As such, this means that there's a loss of the cash cow for both the Jewish and Italian crime families in New York.
Okay.
Among
so like the Dutch Schultz, Lucky Lucianos of the world.
Among other diversification, they make a move on the Harlem gambling scene.
Oh, yes, they did.
So, as you said, Bronx mob boss Arthur Dutch Schultz Flegenheimer.
Oh, yeah.
He kicked it off,
yes,
right?
He's the one.
He gave the black and brown communities in Harlem two options.
Yep.
Give up their numbers business to him or cut him in on the action.
Yeah.
Those are the choices. So Dutch Schultz, he has high-powered politicians on his payroll.
Everybody.
He had James Pines, leader of Tammany Hall.
Yeah, everybody on his payroll.
And he'd also beat and kill anyone who didn't go along with his protection scheme.
Yeah, he was ruthless.
Totally. So this led New York State Special Prosecutor Thomas Dewey.
And he was smart as hell, too. I mean, he wasn't like one of those like twitchy mobsters. This is somebody who was calculating, cold, and would have been an amazing businessman legitimately.
Well, Thomas Dewey says that he's public enemy number one.
Yeah, he was.
Because he was
the guy. He ran.
Now, Queenie, though, she's as brave and as steadfast as ever, even when faced with Dutch Schultz.
Yes.
She said, quote, "I'm not afraid of Dutch Schultz or any other living man. He'll never touch me. I will kill Schultz if he sets foot in Harlem. He's a rat. The policy game is my game."
What?
That's a huge statement to be making.
She threatened to kill him. She threatened to kill Dutch Schultz.
So that's not even it. So then Queenie and Bumpy, they send a message to Dutch by attacking business storefronts that ran his own betting operations. They go on the attack. Queenie, what else did she do? She took to the papers again.
How?
So she started running ads encouraging the people of Harlem to, quote, play black. So,
she's like, buy black, but for gambling?
She wanted gamblers to only use black-owned and controlled operations, right? So she and Bumpy, then they tip off the police about Schultz's illegal activities. They raid Schultz's house. More than a dozen of his men get arrested. They seize the equivalent of about $12 million in cash today.
Snap.
What does Dutch Schultz do? He retaliates.
Oh, violently, I imagine.
He calls Queenie at her own home and threatens her. And that, of course, didn't work. He then kidnapped and murdered her men. So there's our 1%, some of our 1%.
Yeah, so
she wouldn't budge.
Okay.
She's like, no.
By her men, you mean like her henchmen. Yeah.
So then Dutch Schultz puts a hit out on Queenie.
Okay.
This is what she had to say about it.
Do we know who he hired for it?
No.
Okay.
She said she hid in a cellar, quote, while the super, a friend of mine, covered me with coal. So she knew that the killer was coming in the building, went to the cellar, the superintendent of the building covers her with coal to hide.
Wow.
That's
cinematic as hell.
Yeah. Another time, Schultz sent a henchman to intimidate her. But, Queenie's going to Queenie.
Yes.
So she got the jump on him. She pushed him into a closet, locked him in, and then ordered her bodyguards to, quote, take care of him. So that's another part of our 1%.
So he went from a closet to a casket.
Well, I don't know for certain, though, that she meant what we all think she meant, because maybe she understood that hurt people hurt people.
Elizabeth.
And that she wanted her men to have an encounter therapy session with the guy and nurture him to a kinder state. Lots of cozy blankets and comfort food. Take care of him.
Yeah, take care of him.
They're
Make
literalists.
him feel good.
Well, anyway, so Dutch Schultz, he's bringing way too much danger and way too much police attention.
Oh, mad heat and possibility of death. Yes.
Why can't Queenie do her thing in peace? That's what I want to know.
Because she picked a fight with mad Dutch Schultz.
Well, she knew what she had to do.
What?
She went legit.
Oh.
She did.
That's a choice.
She passed the crown to Bumpy. And she said, you're now in charge of my entire criminal enterprise.
And she trusted him.
Yeah.
Bumpy
But what did Bumpy do?
Well,
Bumpy turned around and made a deal. With who? Lucky Luciano.
Yeah.
So Lucky took over Schultz's spots with a percentage going to Bumpy. And the Italians now had to go through Bumpy if they had any problems in Harlem.
Yep.
And that was the safest option for Bumpy. That was the absolute smartest thing he could have done. Yep. So Lucky Luciano, he felt like all of Dutch Schultz's craziness was damaging the entire Cosa Nostra in New York. In 1935, he went to the commission, the bosses of the five families, and he had a hit put on Schultz.
He pretty much helped form the commission. I mean, Frank Costello, there's a bunch of people, but he's like a major player.
But
Lucky Luciano is the one who makes it.
He goes to them. He's like, Schultz is a problem. Put a hit on him.
Yeah,
he asks for it. He gets it. Schultz, he gets sprayed with bullets while on the toilet at the Palace Chop House in Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
And he gets taken to the hospital.
He survived. Yeah.
Queenie had nothing to do with the shooting.
Yes.
Can I just say that?
Yes.
She's not part of it.
No, I know.
No 1% there.
Yeah, Lucky Luciano, 100%.
However, she wasn't mourning the guy. So when she found out, she wired a telegram to his deathbed. And this is what it said.
Telegram to his
Yes.
That is some
This is what it said. As ye sow, so shall ye reap.
She went biblical
She
on
went
him.
Galatians 6:7 on that one.
That's amazing.
And she signed it, Madam Queen of Policy.
Oh.
She's stone cold.
Yeah, with
stone
a
cold.
rose on top.
This
like a casket.
This act made the papers. Her sending the telegram made the papers.
So wait, how? Did the nurses tell?
I guess. Dutch
amazing.
Schultz, he died on October 24th, 1935, one day after the shooting, I suppose reaping what he had sown.
Oh, yeah.
So after this, Queenie eventually let a man into her life. She found a partner in a man named Sufi Abdul Hamid, born Eugene Brown.
Oh, okay.
Before he moved to New York, he'd been living in Chicago, calling himself Bishop Conshankin, a Buddhist cleric.
Okay, so he's not like Noble Drew Ali. I thought he was like Black Moorish.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh, okay.
So he was the eventual leader of an Islamic Buddhist cult. He's a black separatist.
Oh, yes.
And he used to tell people that he was born in the shadows of the Egyptian pyramids. I guess of the mind.
I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah. He wanted to make a movie.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. So he goes to Queenie and he asks for money. Fund my dream project.
And we're in the 40s at this point?
30s still.
Still in the late 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she says, no.
Smart girl.
But they kept in contact.
Okay.
And then one night he declared his love and said, will you marry me? And she said, give me 3 days to think it over.
Whoa, they really stayed in contact.
And then after 3 days, she goes, yep, I'll marry you. She accepts.
What?
So in 1936, they get married.
What's the scam? What's the angle, Queenie?
But not legally. They're not married legally.
Okay, there you go. There's something.
So Hamid, he draws up a contract that binds their mutual assets as well as them, their persons, for 99 years.
This is some weird,
I know.
I don't trust a man who wants to sign a contract for 99 years.
And this also made it into the papers, this whole union, right?
Yeah, I bet.
There was a particularly barbed account of the marriage in a paper called the New York Age. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, I know that it existed. I wasn't a reader.
It's a prominent black paper of the time.
Exactly.
They kind of roast Hamid, making fun of his outfit. This is how they described his clothes. Quote, his perennial garb, in addition to his turban, comprises a green cape and a shirt, knee breeches, and riding boots.
Wait, knee breeches and a cape? Dude's walking around Harlem in knee breeches and a cape?
He's like his own special superhero.
Oh, man.
They took digs at him, claiming to be born in Egypt.
You know the black media is going to roast that.
Yeah. Oh, and they pointed out his criminal history. And then they really went hard at Queenie.
Really?
Because this is what they said.
They
said they didn't believe her claims that Dutch Schultz wanted to kill her. This is what it said. Quote, it was this writer's opinion throughout the publicity seeker's rantings that it was beneath Dutch Schultz's dignity to waste valuable ammunition to silence her.
Sounds like some black intellectuals jealous.
Well, it was known as the Distinguished Black Newspaper of Opinion.
Yeah, I know.
They're not going to celebrate criminals.
Of course not. But the whole high-minded, blah, blah, and then also with the cutting, dismissing part, so they're also lifting him up at the same time. He wouldn't have busy business with you. Come on now.
So anyway.
Go back to your Claude McKay poetry and just back up.
So anyway, all of Queenie's resources were bound to Hamid thanks to this contract.
That's so dumb.
$10,000 was placed in a trust in a trust for her.
Oh, he does have something.
Well, I don't know whose $10,000
oh, that's
was.
Good point.
It probably wasn't really his.
Point.
The document, though, wasn't legally binding.
I bet not.
But he said it was binding under Sharia law.
What the? He is a Muslim Buddhist who follows Sharia law of his own making.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to keep and
we're on the same.
With the green cake.
It gets so much better / worse. The contract also had a clause though that the couple had a year to figure out if this relationship would actually work. Okay. If it didn't, they would split and the contract would be voided.
So there was an annulment clause.
Essentially. If they feel it was working after a year, then they would get married for real in the eyes of the U.S. government.
Oh, they double down.
Yeah. So Hamid, he's setting off alarm bells for you.
1,000,000 of them.
He should, rightly so.
Like a bull in a china shop.
He had a nickname.
Yeah.
It's a bad one.
Oh no, is he the?
Yeah. Let me set this up for you. A historian named Murray Friedman wrote a book called "What Went Wrong: The Creation and Collapse of the Black-Jewish Alliance." In it, he talks about how Hamid had, quote, courted the German-American Bund and the Nazi-like Christian Front.
What?
Yeah.
The German-American Bund?
Right.
In the late 30s?
Yeah.
He's like, I love the uniforms.
Oh, yeah, it's all coming together.
The chanting, the marching.
Hamid was a strong advocate for hiring of black employees. That's great. That's valid.
Sure.
But he created a negative to balance out that positive by orchestrating violent boycotts against Jewish-owned and Italian and Greek-owned.
See, that's why the one part doesn't matter.
There's also his fashion choices.
Yes.
He liked to wear outfits that incorporated Nazi-style military shirts. Big Hugo Boss fan. And he wore a dagger in his belt.
Get out.
And he
wore
it was
like a religious requirement?
the gold-lined cape.
Oh, God.
And he also wore a purple turban. Yeah, he looks unhinged in pictures.
Why would Queenie go for this?
Well, and also, that doesn't make sense.
Does she have a drug habit at this point?
I don't know.
What is she doing?
His anti-Semitic hate speech was off the charts. Super offensive, super dangerous.
Yeah.
And as such, he was known throughout the community as Black Hitler.
So wait a minute. If you're known as Black Hitler in the 30s.
In the 30s.
Like when Hitler was first making a name for himself.
He's like the hipster of Hitlers, where he's like, you haven't heard about him yet.
Yeah, but not everyone knows
he's
this
gonna blow up.
There's this guy coming up, and I'm the Black him.
So horrible.
I mean, what the hell, bro?
Well, he had a labor union.
Of course he did.
It went through name changes. First, it was called the Negro Industrial and Clerical Alliance. Then it was the Afro-American Federation of Labor. Adam Clayton Powell.
What?
The first African-American to be elected to Congress from New York. He worked with him for a short time in labor protests, store boycotts.
Oh, so
but Powell dipped out this is what's interesting, when Hamid went from just targeting whites and Jews to going after light-skinned black people like himself. That's where he drew the line.
Adam, we need to talk.
So he has this labor union. Well, rival black labor unions didn't like his labor union.
I bet not.
He would collect these $1 dues from each unemployed black worker who wanted a job at a store before he'd start a pressure campaign to get him hired. But the campaign's not following. He's getting really wealthy off of this.
So he's charging people money to basically say, if you give me this $1, I'll go put pressure on these people to hire you. And they're like, all right, bet. And he's doing it for like a lot of people. And they're like, they only have so many spots. And he's like, look, we're going to get you a job.
Give me another $1. And I'll go and put on my little costume. And...
Yeah, Black Hitler going to get it done.
So one of his critics was Hammy Snipes, who was a political activist and a former member of Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. Snipes was critical of Hamid and his tactics, and Hamid didn't like that. So in October of 1936, Snipes is giving this speech. He's calling for equal pay for African-American members of the Meat Cutters Union.
Okay.
Hamid and his buddy Alan McAlpine, they attacked Snipes, and they stabbed him in the arms.
Oh, physically attacked him?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying like rhetorically.
No. This is where they start stepping across lines. Snipes gets 10 stitches and the growing support of the community. So Hamid, he gets 20 days in prison and then is eventually barred from picketing. That's it.
Barred from, okay.
So in response, he's like, fine, you won't let me picket? I'm going to start a mosque, the Universal Holy Temple of Tranquility. So he's like one of the first black Muslims in this country, but he wasn't associated with Nation of Islam.
Yeah, so I'm assuming he's basically a rival of Noble Drew Ali.
Yes.
Same time, same area, and he's coming up with his version of like a back to Africa spiritual movement.
Right.
And he's going, Marcus Garvey's going to try to get you there. I'm going to try to get your spirit there, essentially.
Exactly. So
it was a heady mix.
He starts calling himself a bishop, which, okay.
Of course. You need the funny hat, you know?
He gets a brand new nickname. He's no longer Black Hitler.
Black Mitre.
Black Mufti.
I was close.
So August 31st.
He goes from Hitler to Mufti.
August 31st, 1937, he opened his organization to Jewish members.
So wait, now he's cool
Now he's
with the chosen people because he needs what from them?
money, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. He'll take anyone with money, I would suppose. I don't know.
Okay.
So he's doing his thing. He's running his mosque and he's running around on Queenie. Yeah. Let's take a break. Let's work on this.
Oh my God, I'm getting heated.
You know what? Calm down. Let's listen to some smooth ads.
Nice.
Just cool out. When we get back, I'll tell you what happens when you cross Queenie. Hey, Zaron.
Hey.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Those commercials are really smooth.
I know, right? So when we left off,
Yeah.
Queenie St. Clair, she'd married Black Hitler.
Yes.
He's a black separatist, general sleazeball, anti-Semite, con man, philanderer.
Embarrassment to her and the race.
Yes. 3:10 p.m. on January 18th, 1938, Hamid, Black Hitler, he's heading out of his apartment on 309 West 125th Street in Harlem.
This is 38. So before
38.
39. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's on his way to go see his lawyer. And he runs into Queenie in the third floor hallway. Zaron,
Yes.
close your eyes.
Oh, yeah. My eyes are closed.
I want you to picture it. You're on foot, and you've just left the Apollo Theater. You're in charge of booking acts there. You're walking down West 125th Street on a quick break before you head back to work. You want to get some air, maybe stop in somewhere for an egg cream. There's a great fountain not too far up the street. You're whistling some Mozart as you walk. As you pass the 5-story apartment building on 309 West 25th, you decide to poke your head in and say hi to your friend, Clarence Dade. He's the elevator operator there. He loves Mozart, and you just got a bunch of records from Europe that you want to share with him.
The 45th Symphony, bro.
A few weeks ago on Christmas, the two of you had listened to Arturo Toscanini conduct the NBC Symphony Orchestra on U.S. radio for the first time.
Amazing show.
Now, it was mostly Vivaldi, whom no one seemed to really play at the time, but there was a lot of Mozart and Brahms, and you've been whistling ever since.
And I'm a big Vivaldi fan.
You are. You step into the lobby, you greet Clarence. You're just about to tell him about the records when a shot rings out. Then another. Then another. Clarence looks stunned. The two of you race up the stairs, listening at each landing to see if that's where the shot originated. You reach the third floor landing, and Clarence yanks the door open. You stay in the stairwell in case you have to run back down for help. You peek into the hall, and you see Clarence standing over a large man who's sprawled on the floor. A well-dressed woman stands beside them. That's Queenie St. Clair, you think to yourself. A few doors down, a neighbor woman had her head poked out the door. Is he okay? Asked that resident, Nettie Roach. She's panicked. He's alive, replies Clarence. Zaron, run down to the lobby and call for help.
I'm on it.
You dash down the stairs in elegant Zaron-style speed, lifting yourself off the banisters in like early parkour arches and leaps. You grab the phone, and you hit the receiver for the operator. Queenie St. Clair just shot Black Hitler. You're about to tell the operator that it served him right, but you keep that to yourself. The police arrive. Queenie's arrested. Black Hitler lived, so there's no 1% involved here. Queenie, she gave interviews in the weeks leading up to the trial. She posed for photographs from her room in the women's detention prison in Manhattan, as well as photos at the 123rd Street police station. So she's just making an event of it. Mm-hmm. At the trial, Queenie testified that Hamid was a gambler, that he was involved in business ventures that went nowhere, wiped out all his cash, and he was just constantly asking her for money. What really ground her gears, though, was that Hamid had a mistress. She was a Jamaican fortune teller named Dorothy Matthews, who went by the name Foo Futtum.
Foo Futtum?
Yeah, F-U-F-U-T-T-A-M.
Foo Futtum.
Foo Futtum. Queenie accused Futtum and Hamid of trying to start businesses using her money. What was one of the ventures? Selling manure. Queenie also said that they tried to poison her. And it wasn't to kill her, but to like gain her trust by quote unquote caring for her in her
while she's enfeebled,
weakened state. Yeah. And then she would they would try and get her to give them loans when she was all dazed.
Like, out of it on drugs or whatever.
Yeah. So talking about that confrontation in the hallway, this is what Queenie said, quote, I didn't want to kill him. I only wanted to scare him. If I'd killed him, I would have died. So she loves him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you now. It took me a second.
But
what
do
you think it was? I mean, is this stroke game off the charts? Like, what was it?
I don't know. I don't know. So
I'm just wondering. I can't figure it out.
Queenie says that the gun is Hamid's.
Okay.
Right? Quote, when I tried to grab the gun from him, he threw me against the wall and bit my finger. It was during the struggle to gain possession of the gun to keep him from killing me that it went off 3 times.
It went off 3 times.
So she holds
he kept
up
trying
her
to grab it.
Yeah. She holds up her hand. She's got her fingers wrapped in white tape. She slowly unwraps the tape and shows the jury her wounds from where he bit her. Like Hitler bit my finger. And then they have this nurse, Rosa Glover. She's from the detention center. She comes and she verifies, yeah, those are teeth marks on her hand. Nettie Roach, that neighbor that you saw in the hall, she backs up Queenie's testimony. She says, look, I looked out, Hamid's holding the gun, and said, I'll shoot you, to Queenie. So that's what the neighbor sees. Queenie's lawyer gets Hamid to admit that his real name is Eugene Brown.
Okay.
And that he was from Philadelphia.
Is he like H-Rap Brown's dad?
I think so. He admitted that Dorothy Matthews, a.k.a. Foo Fudum, was his mistress.
Okay.
So he confesses to that. Queenie's attorney, he got $100 fine when he tried to push Hamid to talk about how he got the nickname Black Hitler.
Do you imagine him like in court, like doing his wrap up, being like, "Who here would go back in time and kill baby Black Hitler?"
Do you think he had like the -L at the end of his name?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, that's Black Morris. So
Yeah.
he probably didn't. He probably had -M because he wanted to be distinct.
He wanted to be
It's like,
distinct. He's the next level
me
of
and
it.
Fu Utum.
So the lawyer, right, is like, tell us why they call you Black Hitler.
Yeah,
and the
just
judge
lay it
is
on
like,
us.
knock it off. That's immaterial. And now you got to pay $100 fine because you won't let it go because he wouldn't stop with the Black
I like
Hitler.
it. I like this guy.
I know. So what did Hamid say? He claimed that Queenie shot him on sight 3 times. Bang, bang, bang.
Mm-hmm.
He said that the first shot singed his mustache and chipped his teeth. The second one
Chipped his teeth? Was she firing a 22?
The second one grazed his arm and burned his coat.
What kind of bullet she
And the
firing?
third bullet lodged in a wall. So your pal Clarence,
Yeah.
he testified too. He said that he heard a boom and then he heard Hamid yell, "I am shot."
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
He said that he heard Queenie say as he approached, "He's lying. He was shooting at me." So Clarence hears the whole conversation. The patrolman who made the arrest also testified. His name is Frederick Damrow.
So not a brother?
No, he was called to the stand by the prosecution.
Okay.
Damrow said he questioned Queenie right after the shooting. He asked her, "Why did you shoot your husband?" She replied, "I got tired of paying." Queenie denied ever speaking to him or any police staff in the immediate aftermath of the shooting.
It goes against
that
her
lines
whole...
up with her standard
Yes.
practice, right? It should be noted, though, 6 months after the trial, Damrow, he gets indicted for conspiracy and grand larceny for setting up and shaking down a Hungarian upholstery manufacturer.
No, a dirty New York cop in the mid-century?
His word isn't really worth much, and his actions lined up with what Queenie had been saying her whole life.
That's damn
anyway,
right.
Unfortunately for Queenie, a ballistics specialist testified and said the gun had to be at least 18 inches away from Hamid when it went off.
She
So
pulled,
it
she pulled her
wasn't
arm
in a
back.
tussle.
She pulled her arm back.
There was no gunshot residue on his clothing.
He moved fast.
So much for the "he was shooting at me" defense. The prosecution rests. That's it. It took the jury 3 hours to deliver their verdict.
Also not good.
Yeah, they found her guilty of possession of a deadly weapon and first-degree assault. She gets sentenced to 2 to 10 years in state prison for women in Bedford Hills, New York. The judge concluded his sentencing by saying, quote, "This woman has been living by her wits all of her life. She has a bad temper and must learn that she can't go around shooting at other people."
He starts out like it's a compliment, and then he gets to like finger wagging
And then
at the end.
stop with your pew pew.
Like, look, this is America, man. This is what we do.
So what were her last words as she left the courthouse?
You can eat my...
According to journalist Sumitra Naidu, quote, "One news source claimed she laughed her infamously sinister laugh and merrily thanked the judge. Another wrote that she was escorted out of the room, stealing a baleful glance at McVeigh and hissing, 'You louse.' One article claims she said with dramatic aplomb, quote, 'He done me wrong and he'll get his just desserts.' Yet another wrote that she simply blew a kiss."
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I bet she was asking Bumpy, "You know this man's address?"
Right.
Get Lucky Luciano to pay him
Luciano.
a home visit.
Well, so Hamid, less than a year later, He's flying his private plane.
This guy, dude. Get in the ground, hummy.
Well, he crashed it
there you
on
go.
Long Island after running out of fuel, and he died.
Are you happy, Zaron?
He and then in all the papers, it was like he and his white secretary. So,
Ooh.
yeah, she lived. He didn't make it. He ran out of fuel. And see, here's the thing. Like, he would constantly tell his congregation that, like, yeah, okay, fine, guys, the plane's really expensive, but I'm going to keep costs down by not filling the tank all the way.
And also, think about it, it gets me closer to God.
Well, yeah.
So,
but
you know.
the savings of me running around with a low tank, and then this is what happens, right?
Of course. I can't believe he actually did it. Like, I thought he would just lie to them and be like, I got half the tank.
He was telling the truth.
Oh,
his
okay.
religious group fell apart soon after his death. His mosque was converted to a dance hall featuring a one-legged dancer. That is like the greatest end cap to his tale.
Yeah, I'm over here trying not to make any inappropriate jokes about a one-legged dancer, but like, I just keep thinking about the stripper pole and the one-legged dancer. And I'm like, I got a lot to say. So I'm not going to say any of it.
Queenie served 3 years and then was released. And then
of the 2 to 10, okay.
She gets out and she really leans into her advocacy work on political reform. Bumpy, remember Bumpy?
Yeah, my dude.
He became the king of Harlem.
Totally.
And it's believed
movies are made about him.
He went to live with Queenie and spent his twilight years writing poetry.
I love that.
Right? An article from the 1943 New York Amsterdam News, there's more than one that year, but whatever, it said that Queenie went to the West Indies to visit relatives before going into seclusion under Bumpy's protection.
Nice.
And Bumpy passed away from a heart attack in 1968. And
that's what changed Harlem, to be quite honest.
Right. 1 year later, just shy of her 73rd birthday, Queenie passed away. Most sources said that she died with a lot of money, was really wealthy. Some say that she died broke in a Long Island psychiatric facility.
I don't want to believe them.
Well, I don't believe she ever had kids, so I don't know who would be her heir or what would become of any fortune that she still had.
Yeah.
But she worked really hard to stay out of the spotlight in her later years. So there's really no telling. There was a film called Hoodlum, made in 1997, starring Cicely Tyson as Queenie, Lawrence Fishburne as Bumpy, and Tim Roth as Dutch Schultz.
Yeah.
HBO has a movie about Queenie and her life coming up, apparently.
Also, I think she's in the Dutch Schultz movie briefly that where Dustin Hoffman plays Dutch Schultz.
Yeah.
I think she's, or maybe just Bumpy, but I think there's a whole Harlem.
Well, there's a graphic novel called Queenie, Godmother of Harlem by Aurelie Levy and Elizabeth Columba.
Is it a graphic novel?
Yeah, that just came out just recently.
Dope.
So she's in our consciousness. She's in our hearts. Queenie,
She
Zaron.
is a guiding light.
Zaron, Elizabeth, Burnett. What is your
Claude.
What's your ridiculous takeaway?
My ridiculous takeaway is a green cape and breeches. That's all I keep thinking about, dude. Is out there like in jodhpurs and a turban and like some kind of weird scimitar, and he's spouting anti-Semitic stuff, and people are like, "This guy,
get out of here!"
What's with like? Why are we having to be saddled with him? This is why segregation sucks.
Well, and
we're stuck with him.
The question is, why with Queenie? So what?
I can't figure that out. It drives me insane.
What was
I'm telling
it?
you, my one guess.
What your one guess is, but yeah, what is like the fact that she's so self-possessed and independent, and then it's when she gets out of the game that she hooks up with him.
She's got Bumpy writing poetry, so she's got a soft side. She's got an intellectual side. She's got a sensitive soul, maybe an artist soul, whatever you want to call it. She can appreciate the finer things in life, and then she's got this jacknape out there acting like a clown on speed.
Well, and I wonder too if she didn't really have an opportunity to connect with someone who was more on the straight and narrow, and like also fighting her civil rights fights, right? Because they didn't want to be associated with a criminal.
A young Thurgood Marshall type.
Right.
Somebody who's self-possessed, smart, could deal with her. But she's bad for their reputation.
Exactly. So that's the problem. And it's like
she needs a piano player.
Yeah.
That's the women like her in the past. No, you get yourself a reliable piano player, because that guy, he's going to need you. He's a piano player. He can't live on his own. Honestly. So then he'll be loyal, and all you have to do is make sure he's not out there like, catting around, and then
or getting all strung out.
Yeah, there is that concern always with the piano players.
Yeah, with the jazz musicians.
Especially at the jazz cats, yeah.
Anyway.
But I still think, get yourself a musician, baby. You be all right.
That's it. That's all I have for today.
I like that one. I love her.
You can find us online at Ridiculous Crime on both Twitter for the talkin' and what I say, Instagram for the gawkin'. Email us if you really want to at ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. Download the iHeart app. Leave us something called a talkback. It is a 30-second voicemail with no repercussions.
You like how you always pitch these and I never do?
I know, you never do. Because I want people to leave their messages.
I would like to, too. I just never
They're entertaining when we get them. But, whatever.
Yes, please send them. They are good.
And then listen to the next one. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett.
That's me!
Produced and edited by Queenie, Dave Houston. Research is by Ruthless Numbers Runners, Marissa Brown and Andrea Song Charpentier. The theme song is by Thomas Lumpy Lee and Travis Grumpy Dutton. Executive producers are Ben, I'll take $7.29 for a nickel, Bolin, and Noel, give me $5.81 for a dime, Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.